This movie was terrible. First thing, this movie sucks.
Damn, you suck! You suck! Damn! Oh my gosh!
How you guys doing? Welcome to
What up,
PK
y'all?
Reviews. We review all kind of movies and television shows that might be good, might be bad, and we give you our thoughts on the thing. Today we're talking about George Lopez's How the Gringo Stole Christmas.
So this is like a who's coming to dinner type of movie, and I know Bernie Mac had his own version of it as well.
They kind of like race swapped it, where the black family had the white guy come to dinner. Because I think the original was Sidney Poitier was a black man coming to a white family's dinner.
Basically, George Lopez has a daughter who has moved to the East Coast. They're from LA. She moved to the West Coast. She met a person that she fell in love with, and George Lopez wanted her to come for Christmas. He did not know they were together, and the boyfriend ends up booking a trip as a surprise for them to go and visit. And that's like the overall premise. George Lopez and their family is Mexican, the boy is white, hijinks ensue.
Racist hijinks ensue.
The gringo is trying to destroy Christmas.
Very formulaic, he comes, father doesn't know, he's immediately antagonistic while the rest of the family is very accepting of the boyfriend. Hijinks ensue. Something happens where the father insults the son too much, and he's like, I can't take this, and leaves, and they all rush to the airport to save it. Pretty much that's the whole movie right there, literally.
So my first thing that I noticed, and you have mentioned this, the very expected George Lopez immigrant humor, specifically Mexican humor. I've had moments where George Lopez could genuinely make me laugh. However, I do think that it's boomer humor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna use your term. Like it really is just boomer humor. And I'm just like, it's gonna be a whole hour and 20 minutes of this, and it sure was.
First thing that I noticed was when they showed the boyfriend Leif. He's a video game designer. As soon as the executive that wanted to hire him comes on, immediately is making boomer video game jokes. I'm like, and that set the tone for the movie. I'm like, here we go. We're hitting, I think you're in your late 30s. I just hit 40. Starting to notice people that are older generations than us, and even our own generation, are starting to boomerfy everything. Talk about back in my day this and back in my day that, and it's very annoying. I'm so tired of it. And George Lopez has been doing a lot of that lately. He has a show with his daughter on Netflix, and the whole thing is just like this fucking awful.
The back in my day conversations is so annoying, and the biggest I think example of that was during the movie they're playing games. Here goes George Lopez. Well, real games are not played in this way. With a controller, they're played on the field, and he goes into this whole story about he said Aztec.
Yeah, he told the Aztec story. Yeah, how they if you lost the game, you got sacrificed to the gods.
Right. So that starts a whole soccer game that they all play. You wasn't even doing that back in the day. You know what I mean? That's my thing with the back in the day head ass people. It's what are you talking about? He's talking about Aztecs way before he was ever even a thought.
I think he was trying to, in a sense, bring up how soccer was invented, I guess. Or excuse me, football was invented by saying Aztecs made it.
I understand being proud of where you come from, but at the end of the day, I just feel that conversation is so out, and I hate it. Young people do what they do. It's annoying, and you just make yourself seem older like that. And George Lopez has been doing it for so long.
This whole thing was littered with boomer humor. Like I said, remember when his wife was doing the yoga, and they did the old man I don't do yoga. If I did that in my day, you get beat up.
Yeah, where I come from, I think because I just be spending a lot of time on TikTok and all that, I end up running into Gen X TikTok, and Gen X will never let you forget that they're Gen X, even though they say they don't want to be bothered. So it's just all right, we get it, we understand. Back in your day, you were neglected.
We're the new Gen X, they're the boomers.
Yes, we understand. You drank water tired of the hoes.
Now you got arthritis in your knuckles. We got you.
Whatever. Y'all were neglected. Y'all need therapy.
I'm just gonna say this from the outside looking in, right? I'm not Mexican. You know, George Lopez has a certain type of humor, but like that's like me doing, you know, look who's coming to dinner, and then I got like some ghetto thug ninjas outside the house, and like they had the stereotypical like cholos. Those guys were not funny. They were annoying, and I had said something during the movie. It seemed like, are these dudes homeless? Like they're wearing the same clothes, right? I thought they were just like the, you know, block guys that hang out on the block. But then like at the end of the movie, Lace can make a game and about these guys, and so they don't have to live in that car. I'm like, these guys are homeless. You know, like this is wild.
And the thing too, like them just hanging out all day like that. I guess it was supposed to be obviously to add comedic effect and stuff like that. But like you said, they weren't funny. It was just like stereotypical. And I think this is the problem with it, right? It was so expected when it comes to like the stereotypes. I think that was what was irritating about this, is that it was expected. It wasn't like he didn't do anything different. It would have been dope to do the Who's Coming to Dinner, that type of thing, but just add some different elements to it. You know, raise the bar.
Another thing, you shouldn't expect too much. I mean, it's on Tubi, but the dialogue was freaking, not all the time, but a lot of times it was awful. One of the things that got on my nerve when he did his like tradition rant, and I'm just like, oh my God, bro. Like, I'm not a traditional person at all. And I know it's good to have certain traditions in your family and stuff, but when he did that, that made me roll my eyes. I'm doing like just stereotypical jokes that just weren't funny. I mean, a lot of Mexican jokes, I just thought they were like kind of old. The thing that annoyed me was how the friend Javier, like super duper aggressive. He was doing too much. But then later on they reveal in the movie that he's gay.
He's gay? ¿Cómo que es gay?
Yeah, Dad. That's the thing.
I should have known because he would dance without music.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, I think he was checking her boyfriend out.
George Lopez mentioning him, or he mentioned him a few times, and Javier is like her friend, and it came off like he was a bit into her at first, and then come to find out she says he's gay. But he was like over aggressive with Leif, like he was trying to get him some.
Ooh, this what you working with? Like, whoa.
So her bedroom, I'm looking at this bedroom and I'm like, yo, was she 5 when she moved out? Like the bedroom doesn't look like she matured beyond the age of like what, 12, 13 maybe? Like it just looks like a little girl's bedroom.
Oh yeah, that bedroom was terrible. I'm like,
oh my God, what is that?
It's almost like she left when she was like 18. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna put it back to when she was like 6. You're like, wait, why is my room different? Why'd you do that?
Why would you spring him up on your family last minute? Don't tell him you're bringing him, and then don't choose to stay somewhere else. Like, I mean, I get it's for the movie. It just didn't make any sense.
After daughter got the ride from Javier, Plucky Cheese or whatever, and then they were like just having this like whole argument outside in front of those guys, and then
the
like
essays.
Okay, yeah. Then they had another argument like near the end when he was like leaving, just like out on the porch, like for no reason. Like, oh my God, that racist rant near the end. I wanted to have a traditional Mexican Christmas.
We're all gathered here for what we thought was going to be a traditional Mexican, Latino, Chicano Christmas. But because of this gringo right here, lost my self-respect, my dignity. I've been humiliated.
Like, Jesus Christ. Dude. We pointed out, like, while we were watching it, there's like black people there too. So I'm like, it ain't that traditional. And everybody was like, you know what? We leaving. They just left.
But it was like, yeah, it was just a weird rant at the end. Are there going to be like cultural differences? Sure. Are there going to be moments like where, you know, Leif may have said something that could have been offensive? Sure. There could be humor found in those things, you know? It didn't have to be as, like, ridiculous. And I don't know if maybe that was his intention to make it that ridiculous on purpose. Even in the beginning when they first arrive and he's like, I've never been in a Mexican home.
Yeah, that's more examples of terrible dialogue. Yeah. George Lopez, Benny, was over there speaking Spanish, calling them out. And I don't think gringo is not like a negative word, but the way he was using it seemed like it was.
That's also another stereotype, the hot in the pants aunt. You know what I mean? Like spicy Latina that, you know, just needs to be with a man or around a man, or like just can't doesn't is also like overly sort of like affectionate with other people's men, and it's just like I mean they didn't play too much into that,
They
but
let it be known. One thing that annoyed me was like the whole chicken thing. They were getting dinner ready and they tell Leif, oh, if you want to be helpful, go get the chicken. Grandma told her that. So you think, okay, I gotta go get check the cooked chicken in the oven. He opens up the oven. Not only is the oven not on, there's a whole live chicken with his feathers in the stove that jumps out, escapes. He runs after it like he's trying to catch it. Which I would like, I would have been like, that's y'all's thing. You didn't tell me it was alive. You know what I'm saying?
and it was a small chicken too.
Yeah, right. That's supposed to feed like 5 or 6 people there, and then he like trips and falls face first on the chicken. I thought he killed the chicken, right? And he looked like he fell in some doo-doo or something because his face was dark and had feathers on it. Another thing that annoyed me was like after insulting his daughter's boyfriend, he leaves. He's having this like weird self-reflection where he's like fake crying and stuff. He had a talk with his daughter. Daughter gives him the gift that her boyfriend got for him, and it was like this whole thing about how like when he was a child, his bike got stolen, and his dad was too poor to like get him a new bike, so he got him like handlebars, and then he told him like, and then he got him some training wheels and told him like, I'm gonna get you a bike one day to put that on. And he said he never got it. Leif found the exact same like training wheels or whatever for that bike that he had when he was a kid, and they like kind of broke him up because the daughter let him know, which is something maybe she would want to tell her father that he's like a lot like you. He's bust his ass to get where he is, and I dated him because he reminded me of you. And then the wife comes, her name was Gabby. Gabby comes, sits down, and just has this whole defense for him. Like, where were you when his man was acting like a fool the whole movie?
Right.
For days he's been acting like a fool. You ain't said shit until after shit blown up. Now, because for all they knew, he could have been done with her, with Claudia at this point. Leif could have just been done. He like, I don't want to deal with your dad's racist. I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I've seen the side of him, like, that he's a good kid. You gotta give him a chance. So, like, something like vouch for the kid if you really, like, felt like he was a good kid. But she just kind of let him drive right off the bridge.
And he goes out to apologize, gives this terrible analogy about roses and weeds and how he thought the boy was a weed trying to kill his rose and he was actually the weed. And I was just like, okay, bro, if you couldn't make that analogy in like 3 sentences, just shut up. That's when they all rushed to the airport. I guess something happened to his car. Benny's car, George Lopez's car, couldn't get his car started.
Forgot the keys.
They go and try to jump in the Essay's car, which then all of a sudden the dude puts his hydraulics on. You already saw flat tires. I don't know how his tire just blew all of a sudden. Right. Tires blow, and then I guess they magically teleport to and then they like run. And I was like, is he in the park? Because they're not going to get past security.
Man, I was thinking the same thing.
They turn around, they just see him, and I'm like, hold on, he was there way before they would. He'd be in the, I know, I'm not waiting past, I'm getting past security so I don't get stuck.
Wait, he got there a long time ago. Like, how long was his line? Because when they ran up, there was nobody online. Because they were trying to get the TSA agent to let them in. Ended up telling them, like, stand over to the side. They see him, and then they go run after him.
And the cops all of a sudden run after them. And then the cops, I understand in LA the cops grabbing up George Lopez, but then they just run up and grab the boyfriend. He the one running away.
It didn't make any sense. And like, in a major city like LA, like, you're not running past TSA.
But that's the thing. They didn't run past TSA. They turned around away from the gate and chased him back towards where
so was he leaving?
Remember the one guy that Gabby, the mom, thought was just a regular white dude, and he actually spoke Spanish. Remember that part? Well, the gate was back his way. They turn around and they see him and they just chase. George Lopez just shoots off at him, and then the cops for some reason run after them. Leif just reaches in the pocket, like, get your hands out of your pockets. I'm like, what? And then he like proposes to Claudia. So weird. And so, okay, whatever. It's happily ever after. They make up. And the part you about to talk about, then it turns into the real world at the end.
They have a whole party at the end of the movie. Then they start doing confessionals. These are my confessions. They're all talking to a camera. Now, both have mentioned at the same time because it's like, it would make sense because the aunt throughout the whole movie, she's recording everything that happens. She has her phone out. If she was right, Carmen, if she was going around talking to them and they were giving their confessional that way, then that would kind of make sense. And so is she. We're like, hold on.
Yeah, who's recording it?
This doesn't make any sense.
You know who was recording it? It was George Lopez, because there's a point where he's talking to Gabby and you can hear him behind the camera. I'm like, where is this coming from? This just came out of left field. You're like, wait, what? I think that's most of the negative stuff we didn't like about it. Now, we were laughing and having fun while we were watching it, but really at the end of the day, you know, if I had to pay to watch this, I would have been upset. Let's talk about some of the funny parts. One of the parts that cracked me up, whenever somebody hurts themselves, the grandma would pull out Vicks. That shit was hilarious. That actually made me laugh.
Yeah, that was...
You know, we all act like our families are so different. They're not, because that same shit would happen to me. If I got hurt or I wasn't feeling good, motherfucker broke out the Vicks and rubbed it all on my chest and under my nose and shit. And I'm like, how's this gonna make me feel? But shut up, just put the Vicks on your chest. I'm not gonna lie, when he came in and saw his wife doing the yoga and he was like, ooh.
Nice.
Save that position for later. That cracked me up. I like that part where we had that hallucination. He was imagining Leif and his daughter having a baby. And the baby didn't look like the child didn't look like he was mixed at all. And he had like this weird, crusty blonde hair.
Wigs.
They all had blonde wigs.
Yeah.
And everything was white. And they were all just sitting there eating salad, which I thought was like, wait, do white people only eat salad or something? Like,
that's how you portray white people, just salad and blonde hair. It's a Christmas movie, and Christmas movies are typically formulaic. I would have liked for someone as seasoned as George Lopez is, and I know that his comedy often is very, like, you know, tongue-in-cheek and things like that, but I don't know, like I kind of would have hoped that he did it better. Even like in the portrayal of like a traditional Mexican Christmas, it was a caricature. Like, it was like cartoonish, you know what I mean? The Mexican like culture is like beautiful, like traditions in Mexican culture, and like I can only imagine what the scene is like in East LA and the places like that where it's heavily, you know, populated by Mexican folks, and, you know, when Christmas comes around and all that shit. And that would have been dope to see. Make it funny, but also really show like a genuine, like maybe disconnect between the two cultures.
I will definitely say some of the Spanglish jokes, that's what I want to say. Also, some of those Spanglish jokes were funny. But outside of the essays and some of Leif's acting, the rest of them weren't too bad. Like, George Lopez was George Lopez, so you get what you get what you expect from him. I wasn't like mad at anybody's acting really. So, like you said, it was way more negative than positive. What would you rate this? Like, let's get our scores going on this one.
So I would say a 5. I ain't even got a decimal, like just a 5. So yeah, I would say it's like a bad, good movie, in the sense that it is watchable. It wasn't like bad to follow. It's like one of the movies that you could put on like while you're cleaning and stuff and watch it, and it's fine, you know? Like,
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Your choice.
I decline.
yeah.
I didn't enjoy it. Like, if outside of maybe like watching it with you, I probably would never I'm gonna be honest, I'd probably watch Divorce in the Black again. Yeah, I don't think it was a so bad it's good movie. It's just a bad movie. I don't know, I mean, maybe some people will have different opinion than me about that, but I don't think it was it qualifies for that. Maybe if you got like a partner in crime you like to watch it with, or family that like y'all like to pick apart movies, then I would say maybe watch it. But outside of that, this one gets
Denied.
Anyways, y'all, that movie sucked. Y'all watch it. It's on Tubi. It's free, so it's no excuse. Maybe you guys feel different than we do. Check it out. Let us know how you feel. Leave a comment. Bad hood movie? Good hood movie? Or so bad it's good hood movie? I don't know. Whatever you thinking, leave a comment. Like the stream. Sub. All right, y'all. Love you. See you next time.
Bye, y'all.
And I guess don't invite any gringos to Christmas. I don't know. I guess that's the moral of the story. I don't know.
Don't let them steal Christmas.
Yeah, they'll steal it. Later, y'all.